Hello there everybody! My name is Supernova, and welcome to my new Let's Play of Pikmin. Pikmin is once again another underrated game that many people don't really talk or really play. It's got a pretty small community. So, why don't we get started, shall we? You can see here, this was my very first time playing this game, and this is how well I did. But we are now going to be doing a new save file and starting from scratch. So, why don't we get started? My name is Captain Olimar. While traveling through space, my ship was struck by a meteor. I must have blacked out, and I awoke on the surface of a weird planet. With so many parts lost, the skeletal hull of my beloved dolphin is a pitiful sight. The engine is gone. I'm stranded. To make matters worse, my atmospheric sensors indicate this planet's environment contains a high level of poisonous oxygen. My life support system can function for only 30 days. If I can't repair the dolphin by then, no! Better not think about it. I must find the missing ship parts. So yes, we are now starting our new Let's Play, Pikmin. Pikmin is actually a 3D RTS, also known as a real-time strategy. So what we actually have to do here is go up to this thing, a strange thing has appeared before me. I had barely begun my search when it reared up, as if it was waiting for me. It then dropped a single seed. What is it? Is it alive? Is it a machine? It resembles a vegetable on my home planet that we call an onion. I shall call this an onion, too. Alright, so we gotta wait for this thing to sprout. Here we go. The seed that the onion dropped took root in the soil, and has now produced an adorable little sprout. This sprout emits a strange light, and it sways back and forth without benefit of wind. I cannot help but think it is calling to me. I am compelled. I must approach it and press A. Just like all video game protagonists, we go up and press A. Extraordinary. When I plucked the sprout, it turned out to be a living creature, not a plant. Picking it has done no visible damage. It just stands there, staring at me. Its shape is similar to the Pick brand carrots I love so much. I believe I should call it a Pikmin. Here I am stranded on a toxic planet, fighting to survive, and yet I am intrigued. I must research this fascinating creature. I shall try to grab it with A. Then throw it in the direction I point, and I will call it to my side with B. Perhaps it will react with C and pressing down on the D-pad while pointing as well. The following controls appear to allow me several viewpoints. Rotate camera behind Olimar, left and right for the D-pad to zoom, up, change perspective. I must survive. I need to familiarize myself with these controls and my surroundings. So yes, this right here is a Pikmin, and it's a red one. Pikmin are actually a hybrid of plant and animal. It's pretty interesting, honestly. Also, the red Pikmin are the strongest fighters in this game. Astonishing! The onion has sown more seeds. The small red pellet that Pikmin harvested after cutting down a flower appears to be some type of food that propagate more Pikmin. The onion seems to be a sort of incubator. Needless to say, I must study this strange life form more. So yes, this flower here is actually called the pellet posy. And really quickly, once again, I'm going to go over the red Pikmin is the strongest fighter in this game. It does 1.5 damage. It's pretty unique, honestly. I mean, look at this little guy. I'm going to zoom in here really quick. Look at this thing. It's pretty neat. Awesome. So now we got 5 of them. So yeah, I'm going to go over the controls really quickly, because I am actually playing the Wii version, as you could have saw, the Wiimote. You could make Olimar spin in circles like this. Spinning in circles! Well, A is for throw, B is for whistle. Down on the D-pad, or if you're playing the GameCube version, use the C-stick. You can make them kind of go, like parade, I guess, like go right behind you. Like in single formation, more or less. Obviously, using the Wii pointer, you can make the Pikmin go throw closer or farther away. In the GameCube version, you can't really do this because it's through a control stick. Plus, which opens the menu here. I could explain this more later on because we're gonna get a ship part for this later on. C is for dismissing, or you could press the X button on the GameCube controller. You could press Z to center the camera, or make it basically behind you. And then we got up on the D-pad, which is like an aerial view, I guess bird's eye view, technically. And then left and right on the D-pad is just for zooming out and in the camera. And yeah, that's basically the controls. However, I will now be going over these numbers over here. So over here, the very first box that has 5, well actually all these boxes have 5, but these will be changing eventually during the Let's Play. So I'd rather explain this now than later. The first box is Pikmin with you, basically with you at all times right here. The second box over here is Pikmin on the field. And the last box is the total number of Pikmin that you have sprouted in general. Anyway, we're going to be now getting that 5 pellet. You may also notice these guys are taking their sweet time to carry this thing. As you can see here, these Pikmin have leaves on their head. And leaves are the slowest as well as the weakest. And there are 2 other forms the Pikmin can achieve. They can be a bud and a flower. So that's that. This episode is going to be basically very heavy tutorial based, and I will be explaining a lot in this episode. So get used to that for now. So over here is the dolphin, Captain Olimar's ship. Oh, and look at this. This is actually a hidden pellet. Some people may not know about this, but you can grab it here. I believe the dolphin was actually the code name for the GameCube, actually. So it's pretty fitting that they called it the Dolphin. Unfortunately, these take a bit of time to actually sprout out, so... There we go. Alright, and as we see here, we have 14 Pikmin. So now, let's go to this box and move it. The Pikmin are as curious as children. They will form groups to perform tasks that would be impossible for an individual. A glimmer of hope has begun to shine in my heart. If I can make use of their skills, perhaps I can fix my ship. I shall sum up all I have learned of Pikmin conduct. Approach and press A to pick sprouts. Press A to grab Pikmin. Release to throw. Press B to call them. C to dismiss. Press down on the D-pad and point to command, and control the group. Use Z and up and left and right for camera controls. And he's basically just going over everything that I already talked about. Oh, look at this! This is our first ship part. Amazing! There's no mistaking it. My ship's engine rests before my very eyes. By a stroke of pure luck, I have already stumbled upon the most important piece of my damaged craft. Fate has smiled upon me. But how will I get it back to the Dolphin? So anyway, you can try to throw the Pikmin on this thing, but you will notice you will need 20. So yeah, we can't really do anything right now. So let's get these guys back. Let's go get some more Pikmin. We got one here. We got one over there. Actually, on this day, you only need 20 Pikmin, but you can get a max of 25. So that's what I'm going to be doing, because, you know, the more the merrier. Also, something about this day is there is no time limits. You can basically stay here as long as you want. Just get used to the game and its controls. It's very generous for the first day not to have any time limit. However, on day 2 all the way to day 30, if you play the North American version or the Japanese version, your day will be approximately 13 minutes and 30 seconds. However, if you're playing the European version, you get 16 minutes and 12 seconds. Which is pretty interesting, honestly, why there's like a small difference in time. And why the Europeans get an extra 3 minutes. It's kind of weird. Now we could just pluck the rest of the Pikmin. When many Pikmin seeds sprout at once, I find it rather tedious to pluck them from the ground individually. My wife always told me I was no good at routine tasks. I guess I'll try to get it all done at once, by rapidly tapping A, until I pick all the Pikmin from the ground. I've noticed that when I add Pikmin to my group, they become filled with excitement, and flushed with bright color. At other times, they revert to a paler hue, and give off a dim glow. Paying close attention to these differences is bound to help me distinguish between Pikmin. Yes, it will. So anyway, yeah, you could just rapidly press the A button. Very nice. So this is a good example already. You can see that I have 23 out of 25. Now the question is, where did I leave them? Yeah, you might have seen that Pikmin trip. Get used to that, because that can happen sometimes, actually. Oh, there's an enemy over there, and there's a ship part. However, we can't grab this at the moment, because, well, there's a wall in our way, and if we try to attack this wall, Pikmin won't actually do anything. Oh, they were over there. Of course they were. Anyway, by collecting this ship part and bringing it to the dolphin, it will actually end the day. However, this only happens on day 1. When you collect any other ship part on any other day, the day will not end. Oh, glorious. With the help of these Pikmin, I've taken a huge step back towards home. My ship can once again lift off. The glimmer of hope is beginning to burn more brightly. But what has become of the remaining parts? That search starts tomorrow. So this is the end of day sequence. Get used to seeing this because I'm always gonna let it play. You can skip it, however, I do like to watch and basically see if there's any Pikmin left behind or anything like that, which I'm gonna be going over in a second. One day since impact, I have somehow managed to launch the dolphin, but I was surprised to see the onion lift off with me. Perhaps the Pikmin cannot survive overnight on the planet's surface, or have they merely decided to join me for other reasons? Either way, it seems they will help me again tomorrow. The dolphin is missing 29 parts. If I can't recover them all, I may never return home to my family on planet Pocket. Analysis shows life support systems will function for only 29 more days. How can I repair my dolphin in such a short time? A dense forest is visible on the surface below, as it holds the key to my survival. I'll name it the Forest of Hope. I'll explore it tomorrow. So here we go! At the end of the day, of each day, you will get a chart here that basically explains how many Pikmin you sprouted, how many you lost in battle, and how many you left behind. You already sprouted the max amount of Pikmin for today. Lost in battle is impossible, unless you hack the game and add enemies, but we're not doing that, we're playing the vanilla version. And left behind, I don't think it's possible to actually leave any Pikmin on the first day behind. However, I am not the one that's going to test that at the moment. Yeah, and it says we have 25 Pikmin down there near the onion, 1 ship part, 29 remain, and 29 days remain. So let's save. And as you can see here, we have a new area to explore, the Forest of Hope. However, I'm going to be ending off the episode here. So thank you very much for watching, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you all next time. See you later!